Anybody? Who was that? That was New York and Company. All right.
Can you send her the link?
Who was it?
Okay. Just say, hey, we're on live right now and invite her over if she wants to come. That's one that was just on the Facebook. Okay, guys. Hi. Welcome. Happy Sunday night. I'm Tammy. This is my husband, Lance. We are all in this.
Yep.
It's our family support group live over on YouTube and live in our group. So we're trying to regroup this weekend. We'll get started. Everybody want to touch base and check in this weekend. We've had kind of a rough weekend. It's just been one thing after another. Kind of learning lesson we're going to talk about tonight is listening to your body. And I'm preaching it because I need to do it. And it's one of those moments of, I think I'm doing good and I go and I push and I go and realize really quick that I'm not quite as strong as I thought I think I am. So having some heart issues this weekend and things like that. So I'm taking a step back again, listening to my body, trying to get back engaged and push. I want to push to a healthy push. I don't want to like pushing to that part where I don't feel like I have this, and when I feel like I don't have this, it's one of those I'm pretty good about saying time out. We had some emotional stuff this weekend. We celebrated my uncle that you always hear me talk about the past almost 2 years ago now, but we celebrated his birthday this weekend with all the family things that we always talk about, that pizza that everybody
all his favorite foods.
Oh, his favorite things were there, but I did get to have a great conversation with my aunt, and it was just beautiful because I got her to realize we can have we all made his favorite foods, brought his favorite foods, all of that. And we sat there crying saying, does any of this food really matter? What we would all forfeit pizza and his favorite cake and his favorite everything that we made. We would all forfeit that for one more nanosecond with him, so it's kind of that it was that my aunt is just broken, she's just, oh, there he is. There he is.
This is the gentleman.
That's my uncle. That's
her uncle and his wife. That's who we celebrated this past weekend. So just wanted to give shout out to them.
So it's just, Aunt Dolores is just lost. They've been together. That's their only relationship. And they've been together 55 years and don't know life any other way. So it's just one of those moments. The blessing in it is when my aunt asked me when we left, after we had that conversation of none of the food matters. We can all say this is Uncle David's favorite pizza and Uncle David's favorite cake and Uncle David's favorite this. None of it matters without him. None of that food is the enjoyment that it should have normally used to be without him there. And she actually asked, what do I do next then to get started?
So now we have hopefully another follower. So
I have my aunt being mindful this week of everything that goes in her mouth. So that is the one blessing. And she feeds the whole gang of all the cousins underneath her. That someday I just pray that my whole family will get on board. And I guess my lesson to that to all of you is lead by example. And we're all going to get there together, but it's literally one person at a time, one step at a time, 1 minute at a time, trying to figure out how to do this as a lifestyle and how to bring everybody on, because it is hard when we're all struggling for physical, emotional, whatever it is that we're struggling with. It's hard. Yeah. And this is where it gets real. This is where I say, it's not this isn't a month diet. This isn't a few weeks in and then we're going to figure it out. This is literally life. This is life changing, learning how to live life, crash and burn through life and pick yourself back up and get going again. So we've had some emotional stuff and our poor puppy's sick. So it's just been a rough day. It's been a rough weekend. So we're ready to I'm going to try to fast. I'm probably not going to make it to 72. I'm probably either going to do 24 or 48.
I'm rocking 72.
He's pushing another 72. Weighing you on 72 too.
Yep. He started yesterday.
Weighing your face. Look at you, dude.
He looks like a different person.
You look like a new man. I'm just so proud of you. So I'm gonna go as I can. I have committed and promised I am going to call the cardiologist here tomorrow and get back and do some cardiac rehab, because I realized really quick, and just so you guys get it, the only thing I did different, I went to a yoga class.
A yoga class.
And thought, I'm good. It's yoga. I taught yoga. I'm I'm certified for yoga. I got this.
Right.
I was good. You know, it was really cool. Where I went, I was good for a while. As soon as I went into downward dog, my heart started. My heart rate was 168 and I couldn't get it to come down. And it was just that I was fine until I went upside down, you know, till I inverted and everything. And it was just that minute of realizing, you know, my blood pressure started dropping, my heart rate was up, and it's taken me all weekend to get it to come back down and stay down. And it's just that learning curve of, I want to push, you know, I want to try to push, but a good stress is what I want. I don't like that feeling when I lose control. I don't feel good with my heart. So that part still scares the daylights out of me. I mean, it just, honestly, I can deal with every other kind of stressor in my body and issues and withdrawing and I can deal with all of that. The heart one scares me to death, literally. So, you know, so it's just those moments of, I'm trying to learn to listen and how hard to push, but I am going to call a doctor and get into cardiac rehab. So at least I'm monitored while I try to push. Cause I mean, I used to do cardio rehab, so I know how to do it. I figured I would be fine to push it myself, but it's really hard to do to yourself. I never realized I could do it to somebody else, but it's hard to watch your own self and push. So learning lessons the whole way around. So it's just, that's been our weekend. So sorry for being a little bit MIA this weekend. But we miss you guys. We're ready to get going here. Come check in. Tell me how I can help you. What are your struggles? What are your wins? What are your goals for the week? So come jump in. Wayne, come and start us off, bud. Where's Miss Vicky? And tell her we said hi.
She's on a tearing the whole house apart and cleaning.
Ooh, ketones kicking in?
Ketones.
I don't know about that. She's got the day off tomorrow for
nice.
the Martin Luther King holiday, so she'll probably be up all night. I gotta go to work though. So as you mentioned, I started a 72-hour fast last night.
Yes.
We just have we're being flexible whether we start it on Saturday night or Sunday night, depending on what our week looks like. And I have a commitment Wednesday night that I really didn't want to have to break my fast is being at that commitment. So I figured it'd be easier to break it on Tuesday night. So we did that. Couple highlights, the last fast. I kind of hit a record where I had 5 days in a row where my morning ketones were over 1.0.
Nice.
And the DBR for 4 days in a row was under 100. So
nice.
Cool.
Nice. It's all on the positive side. I don't try to live and die by the scale, but I did jump on it for the first time today since before the holidays. And it was down, but I was only down 1.6 pounds. So I was a little bummed that it wasn't more, because literally it feels like I've lost more. So who knows?
And as you lose that inflammation, you're just going to keep condensing and condensing and condensing. And sometimes the scales will stall out, but you're still condensing. I mean, we can see it in your face every week. You're on that massive. How many belt loops have you went down, or belt notches have you went down?
Well, when I was gaining weight, I kind of shifted over to these ratcheting belts. So I don't have the loops. So
right.
I did have to cut about 6 inches off one of the belts. So
nice. Good job, man.
Good job.
I handed mine down to Kevin, and now he's going to be starting to hand them back. I have a feeling.
He's doing great. So
the one thing that I'm starting to try to be a little more conscious about is next week. Vicky and I are flying down to Florida next weekend to visit my brother and his wife. Nice. They are not that old, but they have health issues to a point where it's like being around 80-year-olds. No offense to any 80-year-olds out there. Right. It's always a little stressful being with them with their health needs. But at the same time, we're getting down to the sunshine and warm weather. So
that's
looking forward to that, so we can like walk and exercise outside. The downside is trying to figure out what that means for food intake.
More fat.
Yeah, we're going to be trying to manage that while still being social. So Probably will not be fasting much next week. Probably will be doing some time restricted eating and just kind of leave it at that.
You said you're going to Florida?
Yeah.
Lots of buttered seafood, man. Yeah.
I go for that. The downside on the seafood is there's not a lot of fat in the seafood, so you really got to butter it up.
That's
but
right.
that soup of butter that comes in the bottom of that trough that it comes out in, I suck that up with a straw. Like it's my appetizer or my dessert. We literally have a picture, and it's like, I hate to do this, but I needed that butter. I had all that protein. I needed the butter.
So good.
It was like, it was too good to walk away. It was awesome. Wait, a couple things I want to throw out at you. First of all, kudos to you for learning to work with the fasting in your schedule. And anybody that's just starting, this is such a huge thing. Wayne is learning how to fit the 3-day fast into his schedule, what works for him and Vicky. So that's the win of once you get in that routine, once you know what you're going to feel like, fasting is not as scary as it used to be. Fasting isn't that big aha moment that you're afraid of what your body's going to do and everything. So he's learning how to fit that in his schedule. So kudos to both of you for that.
Yep.
That's good. As you're traveling, we always, every time we head down to Boz or Florida or wherever, we do for the road while you guys are flying. But bacon is our big, we do tonnage of bacon. I like I said, I always have a pack of dogs running behind me, follow the smell of bacon. But, it's just the bacon is so easy. Bacon and the cheese sticks. And even in the car when we're driving. A little bit of
pork rinds too.
Yeah, pork rinds too. The same thing. So those kind of things all help us out. And it's, getting through that till you get down there and get stable. Do the best you could do when you're with people. But especially, if you're going, hey, Hope, nice to see you. Glad you made it, honey. When you're with people that don't walk this journey, it is tough. It is tough, but I guess all the basics. Look around, and maybe we'll get your brother on board, and that would be cool. So that would be sweet. Yeah. If you get some time to talk, call me.
We are going to be about 2 hours from Dr. Boz. I was tempted to try to schedule and go to her weekly session, but
Tuesday,
I think 8:00 in the morning. If you could be over there.
Yeah, I'd love to do that, but the primary reason we're down there is to see our family. So we probably
that would be good to skip out.
Just one day. Come on, you could do it. It's worth the trip. It is.
Yeah.
You learn so much. I don't know. She's just amazing. And when you get to learn from her face to face, she's just the best teacher to me. I mean, she really is. That it's just, if you have any chance, make it a day. Take the whole family. Let everybody go to breakfast for a minute while you and Vicky run into the thing or something. It would be worth making. There's a little coffee shop right down the road from her. You can go grab Starbucks. Let everybody sit and have a Starbucks while you guys run in. She is on time and she's out of there. So her office is right across the parking lot. So you literally, if you could have an hour to go into that meeting with her, she's out the door and you guys could run out the back door and be down the coffee shop in an hour and a half. So I highly recommend it if you can.
Well, I don't know if it'll work this time, but it's in the back of our head if the stars align.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. Anything this week I can help you with, Wayne?
Nope.
You guys doing good? The other thing I want to throw out is I want to talk to you and Miss Vicky about our book. I would love to do some kind of together reading of getting through this book because
I haven't like a girl.
Fast like a girl. I want to get in. I have had a chance.
Look, Linda's got her copy.
We need to have a girls' day of.
It needs to be. Oh, look down here. Melissa got hers too.
See, we all need to do it. Nice. I'm going to reach out to Dr. Mindy and see if we can get her on. So
we need to. You need to make it like an event date.
Well, Miss Vicky's the teacher and so good at that. So I think we need to bring Miss Vicky on and let her head up a book reading.
If she doesn't jump on tonight, you better hit her on that tomorrow night.
I will do that. And again, it's just, those of us girls that are north of 40, I struggle. I love the fasting for some reason. It is the best I feel. But if for right now I can't fast, I want to learn everything I can to do to help my hormones as much as I can, even though I'm hollow and hardly have it.
Enough of that, right?
So, enough. But we'll kick into all that. But good job, Wayne. Tell Vicky we love her, and I'll talk to her tomorrow night. But we will all get going on that. All right,
okay.
Linda.
And then Lance, you and I'll have to figure out a book the guys can read.
Right.
Ken Berry book or something.
There you go. That'll work.
That'll work.
I'll do that.
All right, Linda, come on.
Good luck on your trip.
Yes, good luck. Be safe.
Yes.
Well, I've had a pretty good week. I'm struggling getting those fats in.
but she's keeping the carbs at 20.
Okay.
20 and below. My protein's been running a little bit high.
Okay.
And my fats are low every night. It just,
And that's definitely a mindset. I mean, even from a starting thing, I mean, that's tough to do because you've been programmed. You're changing programs that you've been on. Everybody's always said, "Oh, fat's bad, fat's bad." It's not your natural thing to go to, and you need to reverse that way of thinking to where that's where your energy is going to be at some point. That's going to be your energy source.
Well, it's not so much that, it's just finding the sources of fat that's more
True.
fat and less protein.
yeah.
Right.
So that's where you want to turn to your avocado oil, olive oil, coconut
Butter.
oil, butter. You want to just rotate through those. You know, don't do all of one at one time because it'll send you straight to the bathroom. But if you can rotate through them throughout the day in that eating window, and right now, if you're still between the 15 and 20 carb thing, we want to make sure, you know, your eating window isn't all the way tightened up yet. So you've got some time in there to get that in you so that you're not eating it all at one time and running straight to the bathroom.
And she may be able to have a little bit more relaxation on the proteins. You could be over a little bit more on your proteins and be more concerned about getting your fats in.
Yeah. So right now, I wouldn't even worry about the protein number right now.
You're not
We're
at that
worried about
stage.
as low under carbs as you can get.
And as much fat as
And
you
as
can
much
get.
fat as you can get. So
Those two.
Now, in the mornings when we have like our bulletproof coffee, after that, we're really not hungry until lunchtime.
Good.
So
Good.
then we
And
do,
eventually, at some
Perfect.
point when you wake up in the morning, you're going to say, hey, I'm really not hungry for that coffee, because you're going to get held over. And that's when you're going to really, truly know when to miss that first morning meal. So your fatty bulletproof coffees is considered your first meal. So someday, as your fat-based hormones start working and that leptin and ghrelin starts kicking in, you're going to wake up and not really need it. And when that does, then you skip it and go to lunch. Put your fatty coffee in your lunch time. Then you're going to...
Or if you need that coffee in the morning, just take the fat out of it. Just take it. I do, right, you know, right here, that. I do it with salt and coffee. That's it. Straight black coffee and red bean salt. Your taste buds will change. I'm telling you, it will work. It will work.
They do change over time. I still don't like it, but I can do it, and I will do a little bit black coffee with some salt in it just so I don't get the headache.
If you need that coffee.
If you need it. But get that fat in you right now. Use that morning coffee because your window is still open. Take advantage of getting all those fats in you every time, whether it's your fatty coffee, a fatty lunch, or a fatty dinner. Make sure you're getting those fats in you throughout each meal. And so you'll hit those fat macros. But staying under the 20, as far under that 20 carb as you can, is going to make it so much easier.
Yep.
Okay. Also, my glucose numbers have been in the 80s consistently for the last week.
Nice.
But I'm really not sure what that means.
That is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Especially with you still having an open eating window.
Is that morning, like waking?
Yeah, waking.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Well, you know, actually, I got up this morning and the first time I took it was 74, and I tried it on a different.
79?
No, 74.
74.
And I went to my other meter, and it said 92. And then I went back to the other meter and redid it, and it said 80, 85. No, 80.
So is that between your Mojo and a Foracare, or what?
No, just a cheap one.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Then you're not on a Mojo all the time?
Well, no, I am on the Mojo
Okay.
all the time, but that was the first time it went to 70 something, and it was like 74. But then, you know, I'd been up more like them, moving around for a couple minutes, and I don't know if I got that burst of glucose at that point, and it caused it all to go up. And my blood pressure has been really, really good.
Nice.
And I got ketones the last couple days. I got 1.6
Today?
this morning, 1.5 yesterday, and 1.3 the day before.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're
Making
getting
ketones.
there. So you are doing beautifully. So it sounds like you're about to let's just ride this week out and keep everything moving in the right direction. But
Do the same thing.
yeah, keep repeating till we know your fat-based hormones are all working and ready to push you forward. And let's keep you going. We got to get you figured out on your mojo though, because I have a 108 that came up on here on 1.3. So I know it can connect. So we got to figure out what changed. What did
what changed?
Is it connecting to your app at all?
Yeah, I'm putting it all into my app. I go into my
And
app
you're sure it's the new Keto Mojo app, the latest one?
Yes, and we went. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, then we got to figure that
Mhm.
out. So, but
Yeah,
we know it can
You
do
gotta
it.
figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure
okay,
that
now
out.
my only fear this week is that once a month I play mahjong with my best friend and her sister and friend, and they love to eat.
Take bacon.
Take a charcuterie board with you.
There you go.
Go prepped and ready. You take your own
Well,
little appetizer and share with everybody.
They usually have, who's ever hosting it for the month has the
They
breakfast.
do a breakfast feast.
A breakfast feast.
Perfect. Breakfast. Usually people have eggs and bacon and sausage, that kind of thing.
Fill up on that and I'll
Just stick to those.
Well, she's Italian. She loves all the pastries.
Oh, the pastries are coming at you then.
then you take
Yeah.
You got to look at them, like this.
Boy.
I would go in, either take your eggs and bacon and stuff with you, take a breakfast charcuterie board. I would go through and, do the ham roll-ups, the cheeses, something like that. Take your own I would go prepped and ready. Doesn't mean you can't go enjoy the experience with everybody else, but you need to take with you things that you enjoy, not things that, oh my gosh, I have to eat this. You want to take things that you will enjoy. So it's still an enjoyable time to you, but do not let that food derail you.
And and you're not being offensive either. I mean, this is the way you want your lifestyle. I still want to be social. But I can't have that. And it's nothing against you guys. You guys have much as you want. That means more for you. I just choose not to have that.
Yep.
They're real supportive of what we're doing.
Nice.
Awesome then.
There you go. So then
They can be.
They can be, but just a little bit won't hurt you though.
right.
They don't understand that part.
Right. And that's it.
That is exactly it, because most people, it's okay. And if you're making it as a choice and you go in and you say, okay, this is my cheat treat, whatever you want to call it, that's one thing. But don't go in there just willy-nilly and be ready to jump ship because somebody else is going to guilt you into it. No way.
And here's one example for you. I did partake in the festivities yesterday. I just checked my numbers. I have a DVR of 380 something. So
For what?
yeah,
Right.
my glucose is still over 100 and I got a 0.3 on my ketones.
Yep.
So I'm pushing 380 something.
Now,
But
we planned that.
we planned that. So even with me doing fasting and me not too bad on my numbers, it can throw anybody way off the rails.
But I would say this, you guys know how I am with my Uncle David. He's my hero. So the celebrating with family on this one was a big one.
Yeah.
We don't take that decision lightly, and we don't do it,
We don't do that.
we
every
won't
week.
do that again until next year for Uncle David's birthday. And
Absolutely.
hopefully by then I'll have more of the family on board and we won't do that. But right now, don't let a silly, this is something you guys do every week, every month, something like that. This isn't a big aha moment in life. Don't forfeit your chemistry unless it's an aha moment. If it's an aha moment and it's worth it, then make that decision.
Make that decision.
But don't let it just be a card game with your girlfriends.
Okay.
It's just not worth that. So make those conscious choices
You're going to fall forward.
and make it good and worth it. Make it worth it. We say that too.
Oh, we did yesterday. I looked at her and
This is going to hurt.
is that worth it? And I'm having a piece of cake, right? And I said, no, not worth it at all. I mean, it was bad. So it's like, okay, I'm done. At one point we just tapped out. Okay, we've had enough. I got a headache. I'm done.
But the win in the whole part was getting to have that bonding moment with my aunt.
Yep.
And saying, all this food is awesome. I know y'all love it. me and Lance are sitting there twitching, but
Oh yeah.
you know, it was just that moment of all of us, not the food does not matter.
Nope.
It didn't matter one iota. We all missed him.
And it just,
we sat there and cried.
Yep.
We missed him. All this food in the world isn't bringing him back to us.
but we wanted to set you up right
Yes.
for your thing, because you know you have to take your tools with you sometimes, and you're in a state where you have made some progress.
Don't go backwards.
But that is going to be one thing that you will trip on.
Yep.
So have as much stuff. Yeah. Have as much stuff to back you up so you don't trip. I guess that's what we say.
That will be an easy one. You know, when you walk in and they see that you're still having fun with your girlfriends, you are still there to socialize and be the beautiful Linda that they love. Has nothing to do with what's on your plate. Don't let it be an issue. Don't make it an issue, and don't let it be an issue.
Right.
It's irrelevant. Have fun. It's the relationships that you have and you love that is so important, not what's on your
nobody
plate.
like she says, nobody's going to remember if you took that pastry or not.
Yeah.
That's true.
Nobody cares.
Nobody will in 2 years, nobody will remember, hey, you ate that on that day. No, they won't remember that.
Nobody knows.
Right.
They're going to remember Linda. They're going to remember your beautiful face and your friendship and fellowship. They're not going to remember what you ate. And if they care that much about what you ate, then they have issues.
Yeah.
Is there anything this week I can help you with, Linda, besides your mojo that we got to figure out?
No, I think what.
Rob, how are you doing?
Okay, I got on another computer and I got my own chronometer all dialed in.
Cool.
So I'm going to start adding my numbers and all that. I mean, I've been pretty much following eating the same thing as Linda,
Yep.
but I haven't really been watching
His numbers.
my numbers, my fat and protein. You know I'm not really over on carbs. Well, I might be because of the quantity. So I'm going to start tracking that now faithfully starting tomorrow and see where I'm at.
Good. And that just gives you a good baseline on what works, what doesn't work. You know, what gives you the carbs, what gives you the energy, what gives you, you got to learn some of the basics on where to go. So when you do either trip or you do or look for energy or something like that, you know where to go to. You know what parts I can put together to get the outcome that I need.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have those building blocks. You got to at least know where you're at. Because I about fell over the other day. We put the sardines that we eat came up in Chronometer. I was able to scan the barcode and they finally came up. Boy, I didn't know that it had that much protein in it. I mean, it just threw my protein number way off the chart. And I was like, wow, I only had 2 cans. And I was like, So I saw the protein to fat ratio and it threw me on, I always thought it was good. Well, here it was more protein than I thought it was and not as much fat. So it was kind of like, okay, I might need to adjust.
But even on those good things, you'll learn those, when you put it in Chronometer and you see that's where you learn and it registers in your brain of, he'll just be mindful. Sardines are still wonderful. It doesn't mean they're not wonderful, but he's going to be mindful of, okay, but they still are, this much protein or whatever. But again, people like you, people like Lance, Wayne's even a little bit, the amount of protein usually is not the problem. That will level out in time. As your eating window closes up and things like that, I would be more concerned with your carbs
and fat.
Because he's another one. And Rob, I don't know where you stand on this, but he's a bottomless pit. I mean, he could eat some major quantity of food. He can consume a lot of food. So until he really started tracking and realizing, oh my gosh, I'm out of the ballpark over. And I think sometimes you guys get, a little bit more leeway with that.
And there will be a time if you stay on this long enough, there will be a time where you will run out of, once you switch to being a fat burner, you will burn all the fat that you have and you will lean out. That happened to me last year. I leaned out so much, I was extremely hungry and lacking of energy, even though I was eating the same as I was. Come to find out, because I wasn't putting my numbers in Chronometer, I was nowhere near my fat macro. I was out of gas, literally.
Okay.
So I had switched my body over to burn the fat, but I wasn't giving it enough fat to run at the pace that I was.
I mean, just know he has a job. that he'll run 22,000 steps a day. It's not when he
I
starts.
burn a lot of energy.
So he needs that fuel, but that's where it doesn't matter if it's extremely high, extremely low. That is where tracking those numbers is where we're going to be able to figure out where you are.
And it wasn't until I started putting my numbers in again that I found that say, hey, man, I'm nowhere near my fat. No wonder I'm tired. No wonder I'm,
because you can't wear him out usually. He is usually just.
But just be mindful of that.
Yeah.
So you put the building blocks in there, and that's great that you're doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be awesome. Any other questions for the week?
No other questions. Just one comment though. We took in Ben Azadi the last few days.
Nice.
Yeah,
Like
and some good information on there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Some good stuff. Yeah. And
He's
we
another
figured
one.
out with Linda, she needs to, because she had the gastric bypass, no gallbladder. So, the bit about the liver was very beneficial to us, as far as, get those biles running and everything else.
Yep.
And also, we went ahead and got one of those.
The wraps.
Yeah, the wrap that you put on your
Castor oil?
liver.
Yep.
Yeah, the castor oil.
Good.
So, yeah, a lot of good stuff we picked up on.
And there's, like I said, there's usually not too many people that we stay pretty focused on drboz. We don't go too far right and too far left, but it's neat to see that there are little caveats that we can take and learn a little bit here from Ben and learn a bit here from Dr. Mindy or Dr. Barry. Dr. Barry was his man early on. There's those ones that you can, once you understand your science, then you can go spread out a little bit and see what things works for your body. And that's the cool part with Dr. Mindy and Ben Azadi. I've loved his stuff all week. And they're all just little tidbits that some of us know, but putting it together and it's like, oh yeah, I used to use castor oil packs all the time. Why'd I quit? I still need to do it, kind of thing. So those kind of things are awesome. And I know even Wayne, myself, I know there's other ones that we struggle with the fats and stuff and that ox bile, sometimes we just need that help. We want to be able to make the fats, our bodies to handle it. But until we get there, sometimes it's another little step in the toolbox of those ox bile salts and stuff like that to help our body. So again, you pick up on tidbits. We're not going totally off the rails and jump and ship on what we know science-wise. We stay focused until we reach some of those goals. But it's nice that we can have, the community is getting bigger and bigger of people we can trust. And even if it's just bits and pieces that work for our program, we still can learn from all of them. So it's great. So it's good. So it's nice seeing you there. Good job.
Good getting some information, man.
Yeah. And Ben's a good guy. I've met him. He's a really nice guy and he's in it for the right reasons. He's another one with a big heart and just a brain full of knowledge. So I just love listening to him. So he's a good guy. Good one.
Yep.
All right.
Have a good week, guys.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
Okay.
All right. Ian, you want to come and check in and say hi? Tell us how it's going. You're getting some good numbers.
Oh, aren't those wonderful? Yeah, that number one, thank you so much for your wonderful support. It's so appreciated and helpful. So there you go.
Good deal.
I've been a keto carnivore for a while, over a couple of years now, and I've switched from a 9-day eating, 3-day fasting cycle to this to Dr. Boz's 7-day system.
Yes.
And I was a little tentative about it, but I found that it produced some great numbers, and it gave me the discipline to have something to do every morning when I get up. And I just wanted to mention that it's really helpful for me to have this routine, and I've got a fairly good built-in routine now that I'm really happy with, and it's enabled me to get. I'm really pleased with those numbers. They've really been good. So just working with Chrono has been a real life changer for me. Now I started 2.25 years with Chrono and diddled around a bit with it, but then started to just get a regularity of putting the numbers in and building that strength, that habit first. And and it's to me, it's really marvelous. And as Lance mentioned, it starts to point out or answer some questions, are you on the right track? So I just really wanted to praise Chrono and that what it can do when it's used, and I approach it with the attitude. It's not, oh, do I have to? I get to put it in Chrono.
Yes.
That's a good attitude.
Mindset right there.
Yeah, just get that. I get to. This is just this attitude is so critical in our lives and in this journey that I wanted to encourage everybody. I'm planning for a road trip just a day away from my routine at the end of the week, but I appreciate the support and encouragement that you've given others. Just prepare, and I've done it in the past, and it generally works out a-okay. Because that at times, oh, you're on the road, you can just, hey, there's such and such. We have a little franchise up here called Tim Hortons.
Yes, sir. Oh, look at there you go.
Okay, Wayne, we're kindred spirits, brother. So there's the temptations, and I must, I had a wonderful week, but the last day of the week, before I put my numbers in, I had to have a chocolate. So I had the chocolate bar, and the world didn't, the heavens didn't open up, and
You weren't struck down.
Yeah, and the mountains didn't start falling down. So I'm okay. It just gave me a little bit of a bump in my numbers, but I'm so grateful to be with a group, my tribe, my herd, whoever. I finally found my kindred spirits.
Good to hear. Betty Lou has some more Tim Hortons down there. I don't know.
Is it a burger shop or what is it?
Chicken, I think, isn't it?
Chicken?
What's Tim Hortons?
Yeah.
What is it?
A coffee and donuts. Counterpart
Oh, okay.
Dunkin' Donuts. Okay.
Gotcha.
We've got a lot of a diversity. It's a well-run. It's a Canadian institution, eh? So.
Hey, there.
Okay. So, yeah. So that's about all I wanted to cover. The changeover, I was a little nervous about it, but this first week has gone well. I've set a goal I'll share with the world. I'm planning to do this routine for 12 weeks, that just fill in all the blanks on that 12 weeks to see.
Absolutely.
And that's hopefully I'll find out next week. And then I hope at about the end of the 12 weeks, I'll be going under the knife for a bit of surgery. And then I'll be in relatively good shape, I feel, both mentally and physically, so that's where I'm at. So I guess that's the extent of my check-in. I can't think of anything else.
Good job,
Good
man.
job. Well, you've done great all week. Ian, first of all, I want to say everybody, Chronometer and Mojo are the two tools that are going to help you grow the most. They are the two tools that are going to teach you, not guesswork. We're not guessing if it works, because it's so neat to see how specific this can be for each person. This isn't just a one size fits all, because, just the silly things, cream in my coffee, does it fit in my macros? Absolutely. 0 carbs, good to go. Does it fit in my body? Nope. Jacks my glucose up every time. I learned that because I use both tools. Everybody says, oh, it's 0 carbs. It's 0 carbs. Yes. But if it does not fit into my body and make my body work, then that doesn't work. So it's one of those things that you have to learn that for every food. Every time you start changing things up a little bit, every time you go to a different restaurant with different spices or seasonings or crap that they put on the food, you're going to have a whole different reaction. Sometimes our bodies will bounce right back and sometimes they don't. So Ian, good job. Your numbers have been great. Thank you for staying consistent in it, and just keep pushing away. You got this.
There's one other tip I would give Ian. If you're and anybody out there, if you have to travel, especially if you're driving, one thing that we found that works really well, we fast during that drive.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, you can stop for coffee.
All the time.
Stop for coffee, stop for the bathroom, drink water, that kind of thing, but you don't have to stop and eat. So
which means you don't stop and go to the bathroom as much.
Kind of nice. So one thing to think of.
And if we are going to travel and take food or snacks or anything, because after a while he'll get munchy. Bacon is so easy. Hard-boiled eggs, cheese sticks, meat sticks, all those little things, just have those ready. And it's too easy. You don't have to grab a bag of chips. You can grab a bag of cheese sticks. Are they perfect? No. Is the truck stops
Pork
Meat still-
rinds. There ain't a truck stop in America that don't have a bag of pork rinds.
Yeah, but
What was that for?
they are. We go in the gas station, you just hear that. What's that? Gas station sushi and gas
No,
station this and
no.
gas- it's like, oh. I like to fast because I don't like to go in. I just kind of get wigged out in that stuff. A little
Yeah,
bit.
there's no guesswork.
So yeah, no guessing, no nothing. Enjoy the ride. You get there faster, and we just go. So good job. Happy, safe travels. You got this. And another thing I'll throw out there, Ian, is with you get ready to have surgery. Lance was probably in the best shape of his life, had the best drboz ratio he's ever had. His doctor, right before his surgery, his numbers were phenomenal. And his doctor said, if I could have everybody heal like you did, he said, I'd sound like a pretty damn good doctor.
Yeah, I think I had back surgery, and in 4 weeks, I was back on my feet, ready to go to work.
So
it was pretty good.
So do it. Get yourself.
Yeah, get yourself as close, as low, the best numbers you can get right before surgery, and rock it out, man. Your body will take over.
Yes, you got this.
Good
Have
luck.
a good week. Good luck. Melissa, you want to come check in?
Oh, hi.
Hey, Melissa.
Come and say hi.
Hi. How much background do you want to just say where I am right now? I just want to
Hey,
clarify.
tell me, how's your week go? All right, good thing, bad thing, and then questions.
Okay. Well, let's see. How the week go? So I'm on Keto Continuum number 8, Advanced 23-1.
Nice.
Okay.
And I've been going on this for a little bit. I would say anyway. And my numbers have been looking pretty good. My BOZ ratios, I think the highest was 56.5. The lowest is
highest?
20. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Good job.
I'm really working hard on it.
That's awesome.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
I'm on, well, I don't know what, I'm in the 48-hour fast right now. And let's see. So some things, I guess I've been doing better with Dr. Boz, saying in your sunlight hours. So I basically get up about 5 in the morning, and I end up eating around 8 or so in the morning. And so by moving my eating window I used to eat with my family a lot more, but it's actually made a huge difference in that.
So your one meal a day is 8 a.m.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Holy cow, that'd be awesome.
Right there. You go, girl.
That's
Well, I
impressive.
have a lot to lose. I started at 330, and I'm now almost lost 60 pounds.
Good
and
for you.
since May. So
Good
anyway,
job.
I've got a fatty liver to deal with, so that's why I'm working on that. The one thing I wanted to ask is just your guys' experience. I keep having, I think it's when I'm transitioning more, because my morning glucose this morning was 76, and my ketones were 2.1.
Oh, nice.
But then when I started feeling shaky and my legs weak, remember I'm fasting right now, and so my blood glucose went to 107 and my ketones were 3. And I was wondering, do you guys still have that? Like when again, I'm in ketosis, but I mean the transition up ketones where you feel weak.
He doesn't get it as much.
She does.
I do. And it's one thing,
Okay.
Melissa, I'll say to you is, I don't know how long you've been doing the program. How far in are you? How long have you been consistent in this?
I think it'd be 5-6 months now.
Okay. So I guess I'm just saying that to say, just don't rush. Don't
Okay.
rush the steps. If you're hitting those, if you're doing 48s and you're starting to feel shaky, and I mean, that has to give you a pretty low DBR. If you're getting down there and you're starting to not feel well, then just break and let your body catch up for right now. You are pushing phenomenal numbers.
Yep.
You're pushing your chemistry. It's not like you're taking it as a quitting or a breaking, it's just
Right.
you gotta, kind of the same thing I am right now. I have to listen to my body. And if you're getting to where you're not feeling well, if you've tried the main things, if you've increased your water.
Yes, I had a Ketorade and then I felt better. Like I had a headache, I was shaky,
Okay.
and then I did that. But it seems like I keep having that. I guess what I was asking is, do you keep having it? But you're saying you do still?
It will pass after a while. Usually,
Okay.
if the water and salt doesn't make it pass, then I will go ahead and go to bone broth next.
Okay.
And if that doesn't pass, then I break, because that just means, all right, my body's had enough and I've got to stop. So it's one of those, within an hour, I can have it figured out.
You should have it figured out of whether you need to stop or whether you can go ahead and push on through.
because
Okay.
I love the fasting and I love to push. But Dr. Boz, if nothing else I've learned in the last 6 months since my heart attack
Listen
is
to your body.
I have to slow down when my body starts giving me signs. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're getting those signals, I would push that same information over to you. Is just we're not winning no races by pushing
Right.
faster than our body can push.
And there's another thing too about I heard you were talking about your weight. The weight
Yeah.
will come off later. You may have some healing to do that you don't even know you have to do on the inside. So
Right. I think I've been doing that for sure, because I want to call it a stall, but easily it was in the 280s for a long time. I don't know, almost 2-3 months. And then I've gotten the 270s. I'd say that's a month and a half. And so I'm like, well, on the downward.
You just keep
Yeah.
rocking numbers like you are, and
Mhm.
your body will change when it's ready. It will happen.
And did you
Okay.
listen to the video that she just was talking about, the speeding up of the weight loss?
Yes. Yes,
So
I
that
did.
one was so good because she's so, it was such a good reminder of sometimes there's a season to push.
Yep.
And sometimes
Mhm.
there's a season to ride it out. We're trying to get into a push mode. He's ready to push. I'm still having to listen to my body to how hard I can push. So,
Right.
you'll drop that weight for a while, then you'll plateau out, then you'll drop that weight and you'll plateau out. So listen to your
Okay.
body and just be kind.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Keep
Well,
doing
welcome.
it though.
Yes,
That's
good
awesome.
job. We're so proud of you.
And it's nice. It's nice to put it. See, I talk to Melissa on YouTube and I never see a face. So now
It
Here,
is
here I am.
so much easier to put a face to somebody and talk.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody says we need to do those where we just take questions on YouTube and it would be the whole screen. And I'm like, that is so hard to do, to just sit and talk to yourself all night. Like I would so
Right.
much rather have a face to talk to than
and then she disappears.
and
I
there
know,
she
it's
goes.
disappeared.
And she's at it. All right.
Thanks,
Thanks
Melissa.
for stopping in, Melissa. All right. Hope, are you on the phone? Can you come in for a minute? Everybody,
Sorry.
that's okay. No,
Hi, Hope.
everybody, welcome Hope.
Hi.
She's new to the group. She's one of my locals that we've been able to take her in, and she's getting in ready to jump in this week with us. So we're blessed to have her on board. So she's starting at the beginning. So anybody that can help her along, she'll see her over in the big group, hopefully, and she'll get over there. We'll get her jump started this week. She's got some little ones to deal with. So she's probably going to be a great candidate for a Keto Kids program, but we need to get her understanding it and learning the chemistry. So we're all kind of in this together. So welcome aboard, Hope. Come on in, say hi if you want to.
Hi.
You want to come in and share anything and say anything?
At work, dealing with the guest. So actually, I wanted to talk to you. Caden is sick, so that's why we weren't there yesterday at church. It's been a hard 2 days.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
He's got a right ear infection, an upper respiratory infection, and with his heart condition, when he gets sick like that, he's very whiny and, just wants to sleep. So we'll be there next Sunday, hopefully praying. He's on antibiotics. But yeah, we're all in. We're ready to jump in and get started.
Sweet.
So yeah, it was amazing talking with you and getting to know more about the program. Kevin was pushing me. He's like, text her. And I'm like, I have a wife too. So,
You got this.
We won't hold that against you that you know Kevin.
I've known Kevin for, I want to say, a little over a year now, almost 2 years.
I love Kevin. He's great.
He's part of our family.
Amazing. Yeah. He's the memes that you get from him or something else.
Oh,
Geez, right? Best entertainment you get all day, right? Just know everybody in this group, we all started the same place you're at, Hope.
absolutely.
So we're all back there learning how to use chronometer, learning how to put things in, changing a whole lifestyle. So I know you have kids to deal with, and I know you have a lot going on in your world and outside world to deal with and everything else, but just know we all started there. That's where we all, and you will learn to woe it in. You will learn to one thing at a time to kind of bring it full circle. You're going to learn every step along the way. It is a 12-step process for a reason, because there are that many steps we all need to learn. So you will get there. Don't lose hope. And just know all these people here, everybody's in a different phase. Everybody's in a different stage. So over on that group page is where we ask all the questions, because there's always going to be somebody at the same level you are that's struggling with the same thing. So go over there, write your question.
Or somebody that's been through the same
Yes.
circumstance or something similar that they can give you some tips on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's
Yeah,
all
I've
over
got
there.
my I need to go refill it.
Good.
Nice.
Good job. Well, welcome
And-
aboard, Hope.
And the thing is,
Thank you.
it's one step, one choice, one thing at a time.
One meal at a time.
And you just put them back to back to back to back.
Sometimes it'll be just one meal. You're going to get it right. And the next meal, you're going to fall on your face, and it's okay. So next time you're going to get 2 meals in a row and it's going to be right. Grace is as close as your next meal.
Yep.
So it's never,
We definitely can't and be there at church next Sunday and jump in and get ready to go. So
All right. Sounds good.
We will be there with you with bells on. Come on, Bud. Can you come in and check in?
Bud maybe just listen.
Bud might be listening. Sandy, want to jump in? Let's go to Betty Lou. She's on front. Can you come in, Betty Lou? Can you talk?
I think she's going to. Oh,
Yay.
she's hitting buttons.
We got to take her. Hang on. We
She's
can't hear
trying.
you. We still can't hear you. You're still muted.
There. Got it.
There's Betty.
Go ahead.
got it.
Jump in. She said you were muted.
Okay, where do I start? I
How's
have
your week?
great numbers today. I have great numbers about every other or every third day. I just need to figure out what I'm doing wrong. And Tammy, I really hate it when I hear you say that the cream in the coffee might be an issue because,
It's my salvation, right? It is. It's hard.
I hate to hear that so
It's
badly,
hard.
but I'm thinking, I'm probably like you. I don't want to give up the cream in my coffee. But
And
I did buy those nut pods that I heard you talk about.
Yeah, the nut pods.
Nut pods are okay, but they're still not perfect for me. So they give me better numbers than the cream. So just check it. But I will get, here's what I have, and I do it so many times. I check it to think I'm going to be different next time. This time going to do it. It's going to be different. But you add it and you do it, and my numbers the next morning will be awful. As soon as I wipe out that morning cream in my coffee,
Bing.
my morning numbers are good within 24 hours.
She kicks my butt.
Every darn time.
Well, because, I haven't made like major eating poof-ahs or anything this week. I think I had one day where I really kind of blew my card. I say blew my cards. I had 32. So I'm like, that was just a really bad day. But the other days I'm keeping them low, but I just, putting that coffee in. Now I had an espresso this afternoon with lunch today. We had some friends over. So I had my broth and what but I had cream in that espresso. So we'll see tomorrow morning. My numbers are great right now. I say great because my drboz is under 100. That's my struggle to get it under 100. But yeah, if it's like 300 tomorrow morning,
Not even 300. I wouldn't even push that. Mine literally will go, I'm over 100. Even sometimes it'll be 104, 105, 103. It's not horrible, but it is enough that it does not come down until I eliminate that stupid cream.
Well, I'm sipping. I'm still working on one package of Pucker Up. I still have a little bit more. Of course, dilute it with water. But so I've got good numbers tonight, but I have been struggling, and I don't know. What do you say, Tammy? Are you going to make me just tell me no cream in the coffee?
First of all,
maybe that's what I just need to be told.
Okay, do not put cream in your coffee tomorrow. And let's see the difference in your numbers. Go a day with no cream and see how it is that next morning. None at all.
Time to break out the experiment kit.
Yep, get your chronometer out. Let it tell you. Chronometer and Mojo is going to tell you. So if this is the only thing you eliminate and your numbers get better, then that's the culprit. So you can do that. Now figure that out. But now having a day of 30 something carbs, that will take its toll on you as well. So you got to figure out one little trick at a time, solidify every step before you move forward. And you're going to figure all those things out. You'll answer your own question because you're going to get detailed enough and know where your problem is.
Yep.
And that's the beauty of chronometer and Mojo. because
Yeah.
you will answer
No.
your own question.
Do you find that you get like delayed because it's not like if I eat something, it's not like almost like immediately my numbers will be bad. It's like delayed almost 24 hours or something, it seems like. Or I don't know
Absolutely.
how many hours
I always
exactly,
tease
but-
and state my metabolism is so slow that it takes it that long to react. I don't know if that's true science wise. That is what I feel like. I feel like even the good things take, but if I eat,
When she does the pucker up, she won't see anything till tomorrow.
Well, I never really saw anything until tonight. We're talking 14 hours later.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
So
I think that is a lot to do with us girls with broken metabolisms, broken mitochondria, hormones to deal with, all of that stuff on top of it. I wish it was that, our bodies went as simple as it does for the guys, and it just don't. I was bummed the first time I took the pucker. I even held off posting anything because I was like, what is wrong with me that they didn't, kind of
they
thing.
didn't work.
Right. But they were working. They were jumpstarting my liver because I had been doing them every day and I'm using them as a tool. And now I'm able to use them. I'm making better ketones now. Not always that day. Sometimes it's the next day or the following day. And it's like everything seems to be a delayed reaction on me. So just know that. So I don't know if science wise, if that is really it, but I feel like everything else is slow in my metabolism. Why wouldn't that be?
Right.
What?
It's the same. It's the same science that I use about, when you exercise and you perspire, I tell myself that that's melting fat.
Letting out some toxin. Hey,
there you go.
if that works in your head, do it. If you're breaking a sweat, you're probably burning some fat. So you're not all wrong there.
Yeah, maybe, but it's probably not quite. But if I go for a walk and I'm getting hot and because I'm in South Carolina, so it gets so hot. Not right now, but it does. So I'm like, okay, this is fat melting, so I'll keep at it. But
Keep going, right?
That's right.
yeah. But anyways,
Betty, I would just tighten the reins up. I would watch your chronometer, watch your mojo, see what your eating window is like. Let's tighten and clean everything up and then worry about the details of those numbers.
Let's see where the numbers go first.
Yep. Clean everything up. Get that eating window tightened up. Keep all that going and then do that on repeat. Kind of the same
that
thing.
8:00 main meal, that's pretty impressive.
Isn't
there.
that impressive? Melissa, you get the rock
Yes.
star status tonight for the call because 8 a.m. is one bit.
I would love that.
One meal a day. That is tough.
But
So-
that's probably what I need with my stubborn.
You are probably exactly
situation.
right.
Yeah, one
All
meal
of
a day.
us, all of us girls, if we could get finished up that early during the day, can you imagine how good we would succeed the rest of the day? Yeah, I don't know that I
Yeah.
could do that one.
Crushing it.
We're gonna
Well,
get there.
even if I could finish maybe by 11.
Noon even, I'd be happy.
Noon would be good.
My problem is eating with, people and family and my husband. It's so much of our culture that
Ain't it though?
it's really hard just to sit at the table and watch somebody eat, but that's kind of our catch up on the daytime.
Right.
And yeah. And
I
That is-
think
that is
that's-
a struggle. That's a big struggle.
And I think it's a big mind shift. I need to get there. Dr. Boz has told me I need to close my eating window sooner during the day. He don't get home till 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I of course want to sit with him.
yeah.
It is our social time. It is our catch up on the day. But you know what? I need to discipline in that. I need to get stronger in that. It is not about the food that I'm eating with him. It's the time spent at the table talking. So I can have my coffee, my tea, and sit at supper while he eats. Black coffee, black tea. Sit at the table while he eats, still discuss our day, still share that time together that we love so much, and quit making it about the food. That is me wimping out.
Right.
That is me giving up and not doing what I know I need to be doing. So that may be my goal this week. I may work on closing my eating window early. I may not make it as to 8 a.m. for Melissa because I don't know that I can do that much.
I don't think she's out of bed at 8.
I'm out of bed, but I'm not ready to eat a meal kind of thing. So, those kind of things, but that wouldn't be a bad goal for us to try to get our eating window closed up earlier this week and see how it helps us. I really think, those little tweaks need to be fixed before we really start worrying about a million other things. We really do.
Well, I've been trying to do my main meal of the day at 11 a.m.
Nice.
That's good.
But when Peter comes home and we sit down to eat together, all I have to do while I'm fixing his whatever I could, whether it's, because he does this with me, it's something totally legal, but my numbers the next day, I'll just wreck them just with a few little tastes while I'm cooking.
Put the mask on, wear a mask while you
Yep.
cook. I am telling you, I had to wear a mask to cook for my kids because I taste everything if I'm fasting. I put a
Okay,
mask
I'm making
on.
a list of my rules for the week here because
Right.
I'm a rule keeper.
See, me too.
I tell you what, you won't understand how important that eating window is until you break it a couple times and see how it wrecks your numbers. I mean, I'm a snacker. I'm terrible at it. I have to mentally focus on not one meal a day. That's it. That's the only thing that goes in my mouth is when we eat. That's it. Period.
Yeah.
And he was
And-
the gum chewer. He was a snacker,
Oh, man.
so those things are hard to break.
Yeah, it is. And once I get down to that, then I start rocking it out, man. It just starts, boom, the numbers start coming. I feel
Wow.
better. It happens. So that tightening that eating window definitely has its benefits.
So maybe we'll throw that out there, Betty, this week. Let's try to get our eating window earlier. Let's not wait for the guys to come home. We can still sit and have coffee or tea with them.
Yep.
But let's me and you make a deal right now. We
Okay.
might not be as good as Melissa, but me and your
Deal.
we will have our eating window done as early in the day as we can.
And you can
Yeah.
have
Or
fizzy
maybe
water
we should do
tomorrow.
the COVID bump.
There we go.
There you go, bump.
Fist bump. Come on, Melissa. Melissa's leading us. We're gonna try to work for that.
8 a.m. That's
I don't know that
crazy.
I've never been a breakfast person, so I don't know that I could eat that heavy of a meal at 8 a.m. I could do it at lunch. I don't know that I could do it at 8
I remember in construction, we used to do that. We used to go for breakfast and then not eat the rest of the day. And that actually worked better once you get in that routine.
I don't like
Wow.
breakfast.
Now, to get your fat and everything in, like in one meal, that's kind of interesting.
I'm still probably going to do 2. As Dr. Bod had me open my window up a little bit. So I'm going to probably, especially since my heart was giving me some issues this weekend, I'm probably going to be a fatty coffee like at noon and finish my meal by 2 or something.
Something like that. Just, yeah, I might
Just
go
open
do
that
that.
window up a little more.
Something to just
I could have a little bit of a fatty coffee. Not at 6, that one has to be black.
right.
But later at 9 or 10 maybe, and then try to do 11 o'clock.
Yep.
Sardines.
We'll try it. We'll give it a shot.
I
But
bought a
it's
whole case of sardines at Costco.
the
The
sleeves. Yep.
14 cans of sardines.
yeah, whatever. No, it's 10. It comes in a box of
Nice.
10. So I have to eat them now.
You know what? That for anybody traveling, that is another thing. Sardines travel great.
Oh, they pack
We pack
excellent.
we pack them in our suitcase and
And
go
roll.
and go. So it is another thing that travels really good and easy to do. Throw a can away. I still hate them, but I love what they do for my body. So,
Yeah.
but they do travel good. Makes vacationing really cheap and easy too.
Right?
All right, Betty, you keep me posted how you're doing. Fill it in over there with something. Let's see how you're doing in the group.
Yeah. Maybe I should text you every day and say no cream yet.
Right?
Right?
I told him, I said, we're not buying any when we go in. So I'm out. So
She's
I
out.
have none.
So do I have to do this for 7 days or just for like maybe
No,
2
you
or
have to do
3?
it for it from here on out.
Oh, you're so tough. Okay.
And I
You can do it.
You know
One
what?
day, you have to do it for one day. Just keep telling yourself that one day. And that day is tomorrow. Then tomorrow, when tomorrow comes, you say, I have to do it one more day. That's tomorrow. One more day.
Oh,
You
this
keep doing it.
hurts.
the thing that helps me a little bit is I like tea. I don't like coffee without the cream. So I struggle with that a little bit more, but I switched to tea in the morning. So I can do black tea, no problem. And when I want that little bit of creaminess, I just put the coconut cream in my tea and it gives
Melissa
me
said something about maybe using butter too.
butter does.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Butter does. I can do butter in my coffee. That does help. Butter and
Whip it
salt
up.
gives it that little, almost tastes like a caramely nutty kind of thing.
But it doesn't mess up your numbers like the whipping cream or,
Right.
because I
Quite
thought
possible.
even if I tried whipping cream, maybe that'd be better, but
Which still messes with my head because I make my own butter out of, we get fresh cream from the cow. So I don't understand how can the cream mess me up, but not the butter
Hmm.
that I make out of the cream. So there's still something I'm not quite understanding the science.
Okay.
But needless to say, if I go to coconut cream in my tea, it gives me a little bit of that creaminess, and yeah.
Here are my rules for the week.
There you go. Good.
Good job, Betty. Come on in, Bud. Do you want to come and say hi?
Sure.
Hi, Bud.
What's
Nice
the-
to see you.
Nice to see you.
Hi. What's the difference between pucker up and I got a small white can that says raspberry lemon on it?
Pucker Up has nothing but the ketones. So the other ones all have some flavor and some stevia and some sweetener and stuff in it that make them taste really, really good. But those will break your fast. So when you're fasting, the Pucker Up is amazing because you can still have it because there is nothing in it. Pucker Up is strong, straight, nothing but ketones.
So the BHB will break my fast?
The ones with those flavors in them, yes.
Okay.
So the flavors, any of them that have stevia in them, flavors, anything like that, those will break your fast.
Okay. Here's can you see that?
2.9.
Or
291
Oh, 291.
Yes.
blood sugar 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Wow.
Ever since then until today, because I really messed up, it's been like anywhere from 66 to 80.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
In 2
impressive. In 2 weeks.
Today, I don't like almond milk. I love coconut milk now. And all they had was a chocolate. And I
Oh.
drank that, and
So
that
bad.
pushed me up to 196 for a while.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, so stop right there.
I'm
What a
back
cool
down.
learning lesson. You learned exactly what did it. You knew what did it. So good for you, bud. You learned. You listened to your body and you watched your numbers.
It's down to 104 now.
Good.
Good deal.
So, but, and I don't know if it's you, Tammy, I was talking to or somebody else, but last year, I mean, for at least 3 months, I'm thinking 6, I was very strict on keto. I didn't lose any weight. Not intermittent fasting didn't seem to help me. I don't know if you know who Kevin Rutherford is. I talked to him. He's got a trucking show or had a trucking show. But he lost a ton of weight on keto.
Mhm.
And he went through and he couldn't give me no answers. Well, now my numbers have dropped down. My scale is going down.
Yep.
So my question, one time last year, I was fasting right at probably 69, 70 hours. My blood sugar got down to 52. I was real shaky and dizzy. I had to break my fast.
Mhm.
Yep.
Absolutely.
What about now? Since my blood sugar is so much lower than it was last year,
You'll go
is
by
that
how
going
your
to
body's.
affect me in a fast? I went on a fast last week. For about 30 hours, it got down to 62 and I broke my fast.
Okay. So what you're going to do, as long as you've done every step, building those fat-based hormones and getting your body prepped and ready so that you've come down that many numbers in 2 weeks for your glucose, that is where I would say, make sure you stay a little bit slow and steady and let your body catch up because that's really quick. But, sorry, we got a sick puppy.
Oh, that's
You know, that your numbers will carry you through, but we've got to make sure your chemistry that you didn't go a little fast on that. So we want to make sure your chemistry is feeling really good and carrying you before we push you. But if you go into those fasts and you ever get to feeling yucky like that, you go through your stages, you go through, try your water. If it doesn't pass, wait 15 minutes, try the extra salt. If it doesn't pass, wait 15 minutes. Next, when you go to the bone broth, if it doesn't pass, then yes, you need to break. That is listening to your body. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is just saying you've hit the level of, okay, my body's had enough And that may be different from week to week, depending on what stress you're carrying right now. What, how many things going up to the end of that fast? How fat adapted were you when you started the fast? How deep was your drboz ratio when you started that fast? All those things are going to make that fast go different. How much energy did you expel during that fast? All of those things will be different. So you have to listen to your body. So that's exactly why the DBR is so important. That is why knowing where your numbers are, what it's doing, and then if you feel good, rock it out. Keep going. You got it.
I ran out of ketone strips for my Flora 6 meter.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if I'll reorder them this week, or I've heard that I've got the older style Keto Mojo. And I guess if you buy the strips, they send you the new meter.
Yes. I can send you a link for their trade up.
Bless.
Excuse
Bless
me.
you.
Sorry. I can send you a link for that where they will, if you're going to buy new strips, it will pretty much pay for itself. Buy the Keto Mojo strips, get the trade up program for the meter. You can either trade in your FloraCare and get a trade up, or you can take your old, sorry. You can take your old one and trade it up, and either way, but I would switch over as soon as you can, because that's going to help you. First of all, too, if you get into any of our coaching platforms, then I can read your numbers on my screen with the Keto Mojo.
Okay.
So it is
My chronometer numbers are fantastic.
good.
4 days this week, it was 79% fat, 6% carbs, and 15% protein. So
Nice. Good job. And your body is you're going to show that. You're going to reflect it in your numbers. So good job. So stay the course. Any questions I can help you with?
just basically about my body puts out low ketones. 1.5, 1.6 is high for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I read these people having levels of 3 point whatever or 4.5, and I think, man, I'd almost kill for them numbers.
Right? You and me both. But you'll get there. You'll get there. Your body, especially you men. You'll see all the guys on this page. All the men here can kill some numbers and get some good progress. So it kicks in so good for you guys when you stay diligent with chronometer and meeting those macros and things like that. Your body's going to kick right in. You're going to do great.
Okay.
Let me know. Reach out if you need any help. Okay.
I sure will.
All right. You have a good week. You too. All right. Who else? Joan, are you there? Tanya, Sandy, does anybody else want to check in this week? Anybody?
Sure.
Hey, beautiful. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
It's been a bit. So have to say that I will be late for a while. Anytime on these Sunday nights, I went back to my bowling league. So I get off at 8. So by the time I'm back in the car, I get into your meetings. I am, I think the last time I was on was last year, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
you were just finishing treatment.
Yep. Chemos are completed at this time.
Amen.
PET scan says I'm NED, which is no evidence of disease. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're cancer-free, because you're not. I am fighting an insurance battle right now. I can't get my treatments every 3 weeks at this point because my insurance company will not approve my Herceptin. Isn't that sweet? So I'm supposed to have it on Wednesday, and it's not happening. So they're going to delay my treatment because it's the new year and they can't get we can't file the papers until the COBRA money goes. It's a friggin' mess. So other than delay of treatment, which will be every 3 weeks for however long, treatment is only the infusions that are not debilitating. And I have to get back on the wagon. I did go off the wagon over New Year's and Christmas, and I didn't care. It was one of those, I'm going on a cruise, and I'll tell you what was sad is I went on a cruise, gave myself permission to eat whatever I wanted, and the food sucked.
Here's your sign. Hey.
I'm like, those desserts look gorgeous, but they taste like cardboard.
Right? Good. Good then. That probably slowed you down a little bit.
Yeah, well, I didn't really gain anyway. So yeah, basically, get back on board, back into fasting for 24 to 48 hours each week. I will do at least a 48-hour fast before every infusion every 3 weeks and start getting back on track. And I officially retired at Thanksgiving, which I think I told everybody.
Good deal.
And that's kind of a weird thing. I'm just as busy as I was before. I really didn't change anything. I worked so little the last year, but got paid quite nicely, and kind of was the transition year. They were shocked when I didn't take the next contract. And then I told them what was going on. So yeah, I'm back, and I need back to needing the support. And I'm looking over at my cabinets going, do I go back to MCT oil and the pucker up? Oh, the pucker up will blow my ketones up like wonderfully but they drop very quickly.
Yeah.
That's me too.
Pucker up. So here's my question. As I'm getting back in, I've been low carb, but I haven't been in ketosis for a few weeks. If I take the ketones through pucker up, does that, and I'm still doing maybe 40 or 50 carbs, does that actually help me gain weight by having the ketones and no insulin to deal with it? Or is it not an issue?
I don't know that the ketones would help you gain weight.
Well, if I'm eating kind of low carb, but not keto. And
that will make you gain weight.
Well, yeah. Well, 40 or 50 shouldn't make me gain weight. I mean,
depends on your fat.
It would me.
Yeah.
But you don't have much. You need.
Well, you know me. I mean, 5 pounds.
You need to gain some weight.
Actually, I did. I was down to 125, and 130 is really where I need to be. And I'm at 135. So it's time to do a couple of day fast. And
I tell you what, you know what's crazy? Put it in your chronometer. You can use chronometer to actually gain weight. You can add how much weight you want to gain per week.
But I will tell you that my macros, and I've done this, it's over 4.5 years, or 4.25 at this point, 4.25 years. I shouldn't say this in front of it. After the first maybe 2 months, I stopped dealing with macros. I did put in chronometer, and we'll get back to doing that. But I lost all the weight I lost just by going off of carbs. It really was. Really adding the fat and 75% of this, 25% of that. For me, it was, my body was so shocked at not having sugar every afternoon at 2 o'clock with a candy bar.
Yep.
And I was on the most stressful project I've ever been on, and made the most money that year I've ever made. And probably, in my opinion, gave the cancer a chance to really grow at that point. Because if you go back to the time frame, it hits right then.
Yep.
Stress.
Yep. Absolutely. So let's get you going back in the right direction. You need to get those carbs down a little bit under that 30 to 50. You know that. Use your toolbox when you need it. Use the toolbox to get you jump started if you need them. Take the MCT if you need some help. Use the pucker when you need some help, but get your body back going in the right direction.
Well, my issue with the MCT, honestly, since about the 3rd chemo, I haven't had normal gut biome, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got some rebuilding to do.
I started looking at everything I could look at to rebuild gut biome, and everybody's like, oh, you got to do the carbs, you got to do the bread, blah, blah, blah. Nothing worked. And I did do a little bread just because, and it actually has made things a little bit more solid. But I don't want to stay with the bread. I don't care.
Can you go to can you do fermented cabbage? I make my own fermented cabbage, do some fermented foods or kefir or anything like that. That would give you some of that.
Kefir.
Try the cabbage. Do the cabbage is harmless. If you could do or coleslaw, you could do fermented cabbage. It's literally just shred the cabbage and put salt water over it, let it sit on the counter for a few days.
Okay. Yeah, because I have no gut biome.
That the fermented foods will help. The kimchi, if you like kimchi.
Yeah.
So some kind of fermented foods, those actually do help. And the bone broth, you know that. Go back to the bone broth too.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea because I have tried different things and I just can't seem to get my digestive tract back to normal at all.
It's going to take some time. You've just poisoned your whole flipping body. So a little bit of grease.
It should have been now. I mean, by then now.
Oh, you two are in the same mindset.
Well,
That's what she tells me every day about her heart. It should be fine. It should be fine.
The guy fixed it. It should be good by now, right?
Well, and by the way, I do have the hotel reservations, the airline reservations, and I will be in your audience, girl.
I love you. I can't
sweet.
wait. Yes, I can't wait. If I don't see some familiar faces, you guys know I'm gonna lose my crap.
She's gonna freak
But
out.
you know, I'm going because you're speaking.
Nice.
I love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can't wait. Any of you that do, all of you know our backstory with Joan. Me and Dr. Boz showed up in Florida ready to do a live one time, and we met up in the room we were supposed to do that had the Wi-Fi in it, became not available or misunderstood. I don't know what the heck happened. Needless to say, long story short,
do it. There's no openings in the villages unless you plan them 3 weeks in it. 3 months.
We ended up in Joan's living room.
Yeah.
None of us had ever met each other. None of us knew what we were doing. Me and Dr. Boz just showed up on her doorstep.
Well, they trusted me, and I trusted who the hell they were, and it was all worked out.
We're like, well, hope she's not an axe murderer. And
Yeah,
I bet
right.
she's saying on the other side of the door, well, I hope they're not axe murderers.
Yeah,
we showed up and did our lives from her living room. She had great Wi-Fi. We had a great time, and we have been just blessed to be.
If you actually go to the Facebook group, I think you can search out that video that was loaded on our Facebook group. So it might be sideways at one point because I was filming with my phone and trying to do. This was way before we figured out how to do anything, and then I forgot that video takes a lot of battery.
The battery started dying.
So, and then I had to pull the microphone out of the power jack so I could plug the phone in. It all went to hell in a handbasket.
We're a hot mess, but we had fun and made a friend for life. So it's awesome.
Yep.
But so, Joan, just to use your toolbox, go back to what you know. I know.
That's why I got back on tonight. As I said, I'll be late every Sunday night, but I'll be here.
Better late than never. You can be there. So
hey, you know what? Oh well. Hey, listen, I need the activity. So
good.
Love you.
We love you guys. Good to see you. Any other questions tonight, guys? If not, I want to give everybody a reminder. Dr. Boz's 21-day course is running again right now. Anybody that wants to get into that is a 21 days accountability with Dr. Boz every day live and with a coach and in your group. So it is intense. It is a lot going on. It's amazing. I will be coaching again if we have enough. I don't know what's going on. Trying to see. It's just a good course. It's a lot of information, it's a lot of accountability. Then it's one of those things. Getting to be on live with her every day is just a win. So any chance you can learn from Dr. Boz, I consider it worth more money than money can buy, I guess. And that. So, any question, Becky? Go ahead. Or Betty? Sorry.
I was in on the course the last time and it was fantastic. I learned a lot, much more to learn. But I have to say, I'm a little offended by the people that keep saying, oh, it's too expensive, da-di-da-di-da, and not being very nice about it. Because yes. I'm like, they have no idea that they're getting one-on-one almost, alive every day for an hour or more with Dr. Boz. And it just blows my mind. I'm just like, so I made a couple comments on one of the things today. I was like, no, guys, this is just,
your health.
It's your health. And my medical expenses before I started doing keto, way more than that. And I'm thinking if I'd only known then what I know now, it would have saved me probably $20,000, folks. What is it? Anyway, don't get me going, but I'm just like, oh, I was just livid tonight because I'm like, I know it's expensive, but if you've got health issues, what's $1,000? It's like pennies when you start paying on a deductible.
It is. And the medications, my medications used to be $1,800 a month. Yeah. $1,800
a month.
Wow.
So to be able to put that money towards my health, the money I save and not all this, I used to take handfuls of supplements every day. I mean,
Yeah.
I was taking handfuls of, start getting off the meds. I would take supplements. The money I save in my medications, the supplements I no longer take, the junk food we no longer buy, the
Yeah.
drive-thrus we
Yeah.
no longer go through, all of that, the pizzas we no longer buy.
Yep.
If you would take all that
Absolutely.
money and put it together, it's like the course would pay for itself. Then to have Dr.
Absolutely.
Boz and a coach every day to help you over your struggles, I just think it's again, something money can't buy. And when I was really sick, my brain needed that help. My brain
Yeah.
couldn't comprehend to go find this video on YouTube and this video over here, and what part of this pertains to me and what part of this doesn't pertain to me. I didn't have the bandwidth in my brain to figure all that out.
Yeah.
I
Anyways,
needed
I just think it's great. I would be in it. I'd be one of those people that took it before but paid again. But we have a major family event right in the middle. I
It's not
cannot.
going to work, but
It's not going to work. So probably I'll be in another one later. But yeah, I was like, don't be saying that stuff. You guys don't know.
yeah, it is. And it's hard because you see people that will put money into everything but their health. And that's where it's at, but again, they have to be vested. And some people that it legitimately, is just a hardship, then we're going to pray and have some kind of help for them,
but don't say her motives is all money, because that really I found offensive, because I mean, she has to run a clinic and she has,
again, it's her job.
She's got a whole staff of people. And, it's not like she's seeing patients daily. Anyway, I just was like, they did. So they just,
it still comes down to that. And it's not to sound snarky or anything. It's meant totally from the heart of, there's nobody here that goes to work for free and clocks into your job and works for free. Everybody deserves we each have our gifts, and you deserve to be paid for the work that you do.
And it's not just Dr. Boz making that money. Like, she's got staff she has to pay. And I think they forget that nurses are not free. Like, they just don't work for free.
Right? People just don't show up if you just don't want to pay them. So,
she has to pay her rent and all that. So
I'm just saying, Dr. Boz's program is running again. I do hope to be another coach on there. I'm excited this time again.
That's so exciting.
To get to go again. So it's just so much to learn. Such a great group of people, and it's a chance of a lifetime to be one-on-one with Dr. Boz. So that's the win in it right there, is the one-on-one with Dr. Boz. So that's the cool part. Any other questions? Anything else? Fill them in on that page this week and let us know. Keep over there on the Facebook page. We see you over there being active, so we appreciate that. That helps us. Invite anybody to that group that you think we can help. Please do. The replays of all this will be on the YouTube channel. Comments, likes, subscribes, and shares of any of the content helps us all grow. Tanya, I just seen Tanya. You want to check in, Tanya? Can you hear me?
She may be listening.
I was going to say, she might just be listening to you. If not, everybody have a great week. We love you. Check in on you got a question? Go ahead, Rob.
I've got one question. Yeah.
Yes.
This 21-day Dr. Boz, has she got any more planned during the coming year besides this one now?
I think she's going to run this like twice a year, because what that does is that gives you twice a year to jump in, intense, reset. Then that gives you the months in between. You just need some coaching. That's where the coach can help you out. Then jump in, reset, and get going. So it kind of, we're hoping to get this in a rhythm of, you don't need to do it all the time that intense, but you're going to jumpstart, your body, get it moving, get going in the right direction. Then that's going to give you 21 days of intense work on your body and your chemistry.
And there's a reason she does it for 21 days straight.
Yep. It's trying to build all that, get the habits going.
You break your habits and you get back on track.
And it's an intensity. So it's nice, but it's, then she'll say, once you get that intensity going, and then that's where us coaches come in. That's where us coaches can help you in that meantime and get you going and really do it. But when you really want to stress it and push it, that 21 days kick butt. It's nice.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I took my notes, so you can kick my butt this week.
Right?
There you go. Bing.
I'll kick your butt this week. Dr. Boz will kick it next week. So we're good. All right, guys. We love y'all. Have a great week.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week.
Class.
One thing, one step at a time, guys. One step at a time.
Have a good week. Bless you.